Hello everyone. This is part 2 of chapter 1 scientific learning. Let's begin. In the previous video, the video ended by talking about different steps involved in scientific learning. Now let's begin with step 1 observation. This slide talks about step 1 observation of scientific learning. Step 1 observation. What is observation? Observation is an act of using our five senses, such as sense of taste, sense of smell, sense of vision, sense of hearing, and sense of touch to gather information about something we want to study. It is a crucial part of scientific learning and it helps us to analyze and interpret results correctly by using appropriate tools and technique. Further, observation assists in gathering data from experiments and it provides basis for forming hypotheses as well as drawing conclusion about the natural world. Slide 2. Slide 2 discusses about step 5 experimentation of scientific learning. Beginning with the introduction of experimentation, in a simple layman word, experimentation is a logical and systematic process of collecting data and observing phenomena to answer a specific question. Scientifically, experimentation can be defined as a scientific procedure conducted to test a hypothesis and validate a scientific theory. Further, it can be conducted in a laboratory setting as well as in the natural setting, such as in the field and in the environment. The example of experimentation in laboratory setting are to make electromagnet and to study microorganism using microscope. Similarly, example of experimentation in natural setting are to explore parts of various plant and identify function of each part as well as to identify types of natural resources. Slide 3. Slide 3 also talks about experimentation, that is, things to consider while doing experiment in a lab. The things to consider in experimentation are: what materials are required for the experiment, what are the procedures for the experiment, precautions to take while experimenting, observation to make while experimenting, collection of data should be done after experimentation, and results and conclusions should be drafted after experimentation. Slide 4. Slide 4 also talks about experimentation, that is, importance of experimentation. The importance of experimentation says that it is important because it allows scientists to test their ideas and theories in a controlled environment. It assists in measuring and collecting data to support or refute the hypothesis. Further, it draws valid conclusions based on evidence and it assists us to understand the natural world as well as make predictions about the future events or outcomes. Slide 5. Research work. So what is research work? Research work is a systematic study aimed at discovering, interpreting and revising new knowledge. It involves gathering informations, analyzing data, and drawing conclusions to contribute new insights and advancement in a particular subject area. Further, it plays a crucial role in driving scientific innovation and progress across all fields of study. Its ultimate goal is to find solution to the problem identified. There are different stages in research work which is discussed in the upcoming slide. Slide 6. Different stages in research work. This slide shows different stages that are involved in research work, that is as follows: identifying research questions and problems, specifying research objectives and formulating hypotheses. Stage 1. Literature review, that is reviewing the existing research and studies to identify gaps and areas requiring research. Stage 2. Material preparation as a stage 3. Designing research by developing the overall approach for collecting, analyzing and interpreting data to ensure rigor and validity as stage 4. Data collection, that is collecting data using methods such as surveys, interviews, experiment and observation as stage 5. Data analysis, that is analyzing data using relevant technique to draw conclusion and test hypothesis as stage 6. Presentation of results and finding by using appropriate tables, chart and graphs as stage 7, and conclusion and recommendation, which is the final steps and involve key findings, summarizing, drawing conclusion and making recommendation for further research as stage 8. Slide 7, surveying work. Definition of surveying work. Surveying work is the act of gathering data and information from a group of people or population through standardized question. Purpose of surveying is to understand a particular phenomena or problem-related area by collecting and analyzing data using specific methods and techniques. Method used in surveying work. Various methods are used such as paper questionnaire, online surveys, Google Forms, telephone interviews, in-person interviews. Type of data collected in surveying work. It collects both qualitative and quantitative data, providing insights through observation and interaction. Other factors to know about surveying work. The collected response from surveys are survey data. Survey data are analyzed to draw conclusion about the subject or problem on the study. Selecting a representative sample is crucial to ensure the validity of collected data. Key steps in surveying involves designing questionnaire, selecting representative sample and ensuring validity of collected data. Stages in surveying. It typically involves the following stage, that is identifying the research question or problem, choosing appropriate data collection method, and collecting data from representative sample. Slide 8. Model building work. Definition of model building work. Model building work is the act of creating and redefining mathematical, statistical or computational models to represent the real world phenomena, system or processes. Purpose of model building work: to stimulate, predict or analyze various scenarios, providing insights and aiding decision making in the field of science, engineering, economics and finance. To make learners understand how certain objects and machines work both internally as well as externally. To clarify the scientific theories and principles behind the actual machine. Types of model building. Model can be built in two forms. They are two-dimensional collage model building and three-dimensional model building. Other facts to know about model building work. It typically includes formulation, parameter estimation, validation, and interpretation of a model output. Slide 9. Project work. Definition of project work. Project work is a scientific activities performed by the students in the form of experiments, research, survey, and model building in any branch of science. Following are different examples of project work, that is experimental project work, demonstration project work, collection project work, and research project work. What is experimental project work? The project work that have a defined scientific objectives, involves various scientific method and procedures to be followed for exploring and demonstrating theories, as well as uses observation to check whether the hypothesis is true or not, is called experimental project work. What is demonstration project work? The project work that gives demos of a particular activity by carrying out information, idea and processes systematically is called demonstration project work. It involves replicating the experiments done by other scientists to retest and showcase the findings. What is collection project work? The project work that uses collection of objects to clarify the concept behind certain scientific theories and principles is called collection project work. It is very much similar to demonstration project work. For example, by observing whether some object emits light or not, it can be classified as luminous or non-luminous object. What is research project work? The project work that uses well-established facts or theories to systematically draw out new conclusions is research project work. It is often conducted by scientists and it requires longer time period to complete. Slide 10. Scientific test. The facts that one should know about scientific test is observation. It is the initial step, providing valuable information to formulate a hypothesis. Hypothesis formulation. Based on observation, hypothesis or research question are proposed. Now, talking about the definition of scientific test. Scientific test is a controlled experiment conducted to examine hypothesis or answer research question using a controlled and systematic approach. What is the objective of scientific test? The objective of scientific test is to conduct experimentation to collect empirical data for hypothesis evaluation. What is importance of scientific test? The importance of scientific test are as follows. It is a fundamental part of the scientific method for investigating natural phenomena. It provides evidence to support or refute ideas. It ensures accurate data and results. It can be replicated to verify things. It can lead to new innovations and technology development. Some example of scientific test. Understanding acid, base and salt requires scientific test beyond observation. The chemistry application of scientific test is testing properties of chemical compound, exploring reaction effects and analyzing molecular behavior in solutions are some of the chemical application of scientific test. Slide 11. Report writing. Definition of report writing. It is the structural presentation of information and involves synthesizing data, analyzing data, stating the findings and conclusions in a systematic manner. The objective of report writing is to communicate research findings, project updates, and business analysis by presenting information in a clear and concise manner to specific audience. What is the importance of report writing? It assists in communicating information by conveying findings, analysis, and recommendation for ensuring clear understanding. It serves as a record of research, project, business activities, aiding in future decision making. It provides insights and recommendation to support informed decision making. It disseminates knowledge within an organization, promoting learning and collaboration. Slide 12. Report writing. Sections to be included in report writing. Topic. It is the first thing and it denotes the name of practical work. It sums up your work in a single sentence. Objective. It is a specific aim of a practical work and it should be clearly defined. Materials required. It is the various items and resources used to achieve the objective and conduct the experiment. Procedure. It is the steps and tasks that are performed during the experiment. It should be enlisted in number. Observation. It is the first thing to do after doing the experiment and it involves writing down the findings and checking whether findings satisfy the stated objective or not. It assists us in drawing conclusions based on the objective. Analysis. Data and facts gathered through observation are discussed and interpreted in analysis such that it helps us in writing down the conclusion. Calculation. Not all the practical work requires the calculation section. However, if data and numbers are obtained in observation, it is included in our report writing. Results. It is included at the end of the report before conclusion and precaution and it assists in determining if objectives of the practical is supported or not. Conclusion. It provides brief discussion of results based on observation, analysis and calculations, and it is written at the last section of report. Precaution. It assists other repeater to avoid accidents in case if they repeat or try to replicate the practical work. Thank you.